do think there is a God, but I just
Okay,
don't know what
prove
that
it.
looks like.
Prove it.
Then what did you observe to even indicate such a thing?
What do you mean?
Well, you're saying
Indicate
it's a
what?
thing. What are you observing? Like, we both have access to reality, right? You're like
Right.
observing something in reality to indicate this?
Indicate the way I view God.
That you're saying, yeah, so to indicate that God's a thing.
I would just say if I'm viewing reality and from what you and I have both experienced through our lives, I would say the science kind of beats the factor of faith. But there are things
So
that
you
we do not
observed
understand.
science. Science
Believe
indicates God, is what you're saying?
from a very, vague level, yeah, but there's
How
things
so?
that cannot be described and cannot be there's no formidable explanation of God. Like, we're only resonating with God because of a book that so and so reads. It's like I can't really base my entire prerogative on something I'm reading from a book that has been revised and edited for thousands of years, if that makes sense.
Then why plead allegiance?
What's that?
Then why do you believe what's in the book?
I don't. I just think that's exactly why I'm agnostic. I do believe there is something that we will never ever be able to understand, but there is a higher
All
power
right.
for sure.
So then what are you observing to indicate that?
The unexplainable, really. The things that cannot be, numerically explained, and also the book, it's completely far fetched
So,
from whatever you're reading there.
so you observed how you're unable to do some of the stuff you want to do. Therefore, a God exists?
I mean, what do you? Okay, let me actually ask you a question because I see what you're saying, but this is why I'm agnostic is because I don't know. But I want to ask you a question. What is your interpretation of what your reality looks like?
When I hold my hand out and I let go, I can drop things and they fall.
So gravity, really?
That's
Is
one
that
way things are. That's
okay?
a
But
way things are.
that's just super like third grade level. Let's dive a little deeper into that. Like what does it look like to you? What is your whole thought process with your existence?
Well, I'm thinking, hey, what I have is a DC current, and what I need is an oscillator, a harmonic oscillator, something that can produce a sine wave, right? Something that can go this way and that way in a sense that a computer can't do, where it's only working on and off. Yet I'm still using the same technology in order to produce that effect because I'll have like a seesaw, right? But it has natural resistance to it, so it needs a little bit of help. And that help is coming from a transistor. But the problem is that it's not that easy to like it's not that easy to debug because it's not just a simple closed circuit. There's like more than one connection from the power to the ground. So it's more complex.
I see what you're saying, actually, I do, but I'm also gonna add to that. So where do you think these connections come from? Do you think it's like why do you think we have even access to it? Like where do you think this comes from? Just because we're
Well, we went to the mountains and the deserts and we mined. And then what we did is we crushed it up so that we could separate them by
I know
density,
that. Okay, you're
them in layers.
misinterpreting. You're misinterpreting. I'm sorry about that. Let me be a little bit more specific. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me all right. So you're saying that every mineral and all of the stuff that we are being provided makes you atheist or whatever you are, you don't believe in a God. But my question to you is let's dive a little deeper into that. Why do you even think you exist? Like, why do
Hold
you
on, but
think
that's
you even
kind of
have
a
a consciousness?
misrepresentation. The fact that I interact with reality isn't informative of a God belief. It's just informative of my interaction with reality.
But like, why do you think you have a consciousness at all?
I mean, I can
Like,
have any reason. Like, what does that reason matter?
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I'm just trying to get your
Yeah,
reasoning
but
of
let's
it.
say
I'm
I'm
not.
right or wrong. We could go either way. Let's say I give you a really good answer or a really bad answer. What does that
Well, I'm
matter?
not saying you're right or wrong. I just want to know what your prerogative is.
If you would answer the question I'm asking you.
Okay, ask it. Sorry about that.
So let's say I give you a good answer and I give you a bad answer. What does that matter?
It doesn't.
So why are you asking the question then if it doesn't matter?
So why are you in the chat though? If you want to discuss things that are right and wrong and you don't really care about
You
it?
understand I'm asking about this particular question.
Yeah, but you're being kind of disingenuous, low key.
No, you're asking me an irrelevant question, apparently.
How is it irrelevant if I'm
Because
asking
you just
it?
said the answer doesn't matter one way or the other that I give
You backed me in a corner for me to even answer that. I'm
There's no
curious on your
corner.
mindset.
There's no corner.
You're not going to get me in the trap, dude. I'm just asking.
There's no trap.
So just answer the question. Why do you got to be so hostile?
I did. I answered on
No,
behalf of two people.
You answered a question with a question.
Hey, I answered on behalf of two different people. One person, they gave you a really good answer. The other person, they gave you a dog shit answer.
Okay. And I'm now that you interrupted,
Okay,
I
so
would like
proceed.
to hear your dog shit answer.
Just proceed.
How can I proceed when you're the one that asked me a question?
I didn't ask you any question.
You asked me a question just now.
I did not. I asked you to
Dude,
proceed.
Are you slow?
I asked you to proceed.
You're not gonna get any far. We're not gonna clarify at all, man. Stop going in circles.
I'm not trying to be combative, but dude, this guy's just running around me.
You are, because I've asked you 3 times to proceed.
Okay, so I'm proceeding now. Thank you for losing my train of thought when I wasn't even talking to you to begin with, by the way. But yeah, back to Mogi. Now that we're talking about this, let me ask you, what is your whole opinion or your thought process when it comes to like consciousness? Do you think it's just, you know, nature in itself, or do you think that your consciousness leaves this earth? Like, where do you think your energy goes?
He doesn't get it.
So when you say consciousness, it pertains to awareness. Awareness of what in this regard?
Okay, awareness of the fact that you're alive.
I mean, that's just, I mean, what would be the feature you would expect from something like that? What would be the behavior you would expect from something living?
I really am getting tired of,
all right, go fuck yourself, dude. Go away, man. I'm done with you.
Yourself. You're so low.
You're not in control. I'm telling you to go away because you're being obstinate. I'm done listening to it. So if you want to be done up, there you go. Executive function. Make sure that moron can't come back.
Now I see. He wants us to give him the answer that he could hear instead of actually thinking about how the question details.
Yeah, because he doesn't have his own burden there in the conversation. He's just a debate.
And it was a good question by Mogi, I highlight the actual behavior for that.
He just wanted you to
didn't
answer.
pick up.
He didn't have a philosophy. He just wanted to critique your shit. That's it. He had nothing to bring to the conversation. He just wanted to sit there and listen to you explain something about consciousness. You should have just started describing dog shit, because it's not going to matter. Consciousness, dog shit, what's the difference? It's all some function of reality. But all his stupid fucking rhetoric is going to center around this issue that this moron has and his little ilk cronies of some problem of consciousness. But the problem of digestion. What about the hard problem of digestion? When does a food turn into a turd? And if a turd is just a food you didn't eat or process, well, are you eating turds? What's the difference between a steak and a turd? right? These people are fucking stupid as shit. They've just been gaslit into a particularly information-rich fucking narrative about the importance of things. That for whatever reason, consciousness is just a more important biological function than like balance, right? Imagine if animals didn't have balance. We would have never gotten to consciousness. Like the way that they assign importance is just crazy. My ability to uptake fucking sugar is more important in the grand scheme of things than consciousness. If I can't uptake sugar, I don't get to think. I don't get to do that. That's not a function that I'm allowed to do. But all this importance on something that happens after I eat food. These people, I'm not trying to shit on consciousness. I fucking love me some consciousness, man. But like the way that they just assign arbitrary value of one biological function over another, eye fluttering is just as important, I guess, physiologically as consciousness. It's one of the multitude of biological functions. But because some moron back in the day started running his stupid fucking knuckle dragging mouth off about consciousness, we got to listen to decades of these morons just oozing their fucking mentally disturbed delusions about God, whatever the fuck God is, and whatever random attribute they pick. It's like, we're supposed to have some philosophy of mind because you randomly picked consciousness? What if this asshole came in and started talking about digestion? Can you prove digestion, bro? Like, what's your philosophy on digestion? Shut the fuck up, dude. So fucking moronic, dude. And it sucks that you can't get past that, pedagogical barrier of just these people are locked into the absolute fucking truth. And any derivation from that is just uncharted territory in their brains, and they just can't even logic anywhere. Like they just get stuck like fucking molasses. It's crazy. It's flabbergasting. That's the power of inculcation, of gaslighting your own fucking children their entire life in bullshit. Then you unleash them to people like me, and I start asking simple questions that he agrees are like third grade level questions that he couldn't fucking answer. Couldn't answer simple questions. Wants to just freak out, blame me, Mogi. Mogi's such a dick for it, asking questions and answering questions. And I'm such a dick that I was like, hey, man, imagine I gave you a good answer and I gave you a bad answer. You should be able to proceed from there. Like, the quality of my answer shouldn't inhibit you proving your philosophies, got merit. But it was almost like if we didn't give him permission to think by giving him an answer, he wasn't able to prove something. Well, that, being a charitable guy that I am, I can't assume that, because that would mean that he, lacks any kind of fucking foundation, right? He was just making shit up. I'm not going to go around just accusing people of just making shit up without being able to prove that they're making shit up. But it did certainly sound like he was making shit up. And he was hoping that we were playing with this fucking script, because once we got off of that script, full neurocognitive disincorporation. His brain just completely vapor locked. Wow. Try to help somebody. Reaching out an olive branch. It's just to help. Nothing. Do they change the what is it, the rank from heart to, what is that, a flamingo? I'm a fucking flamingo now?
I think. Yeah, I think it's a. Yeah, it's a flamingo. Why? Why? Mogi, are you a flamingo?
No, he's a
No.
fucking atom symbol.
What a loser! Must be because they know you're Russian.
Wait, what the fuck? That's weird. What the fuck is a politics celestial? When did they make that shit?
No, that's been around a long time. That's like the very I don't know. I'm getting it mixed up with the Centuron or whatever.
The Centurion. No, myth. It used to be mythical and then legendary, but now they added celestial. And then legend. I guess they're just rearranging shit.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
All right, Rem, you're up. Prove it.
Okay. What do you want me to prove?
Prove that you have situational awareness.
Okay. Usually that would mean that I stay quiet. But absent that, if the chat desires.
Bruh.
Look, dude, you're not going to come in here and chat freeload. You've got to put your ideas on the table. Prove it.
Okay. I think that I could probably count on one hand the number of people that I would consider true agnostic atheists.
What do you think that you're proving right now?
Again, what is the opposite of agnostic atheist?
I'm asking you to prove a God thing.
An agnostic theist.
I'm asking you to prove a God thing. So do it. Can you prove a God thing? Because my claim is very simple. My claim is that you can't prove a God thing.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Of course, what?
You want me to prove a metaphysical reality?
What?
Just yes or no? Yes or no? Is that what you want me to do?
Oh, you
we
can't
didn't
do
put
task.
that bird. That's not a yes or a no. We didn't ask you that.
Oh, okay, so you want me to prove, is God a metaphysical reality?
You tell us.
You're asking, so God is metaphysical reality, and you're asking me to prove that God is a metaphysical reality.
Is that what you point at when someone says God?
Is that what you believe, that
Yeah.
God is, in fact, a metaphysical reality?
So I think that at its very core, that the concept of God is basically a collection of attributes that we then, usually as Christians or similar, will suggest is innately simple.
Bruh, we're not asking Christians, man. I've asked Christians before, and they've given me their answers. I'm asking you, so can you give us your answer?
I know the game. I'm wrong. I've been here.
Do you have a God concept of mind? Like in mind?
What I'm suggesting, yeah. So I guess the way I view it is as a process of elimination, right? So let me ask you. Let me ask you something. Do you think that process of elimination is a fair way to prove something?
It can be.
Okay, so it can be. That's good. That's good. So, okay, well, we already know that hard atheism is off the table.
Can I ask a quick meta question though?
Sure.
How would it be? A process of elimination. What can you give me a framework where we could employ a process of elimination, where we can then
Sure.
come to a conclusion of something?
So I think that for any given person, you are going to have the best you can beliefs of your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, so on and so forth. Now, hang on before you jump in.
I don't know. What did you say?
Yeah, exactly. So my point is this: unless
Dude, are
you're
you
living
chemically
in a
altered in some
1984
way?
style world, you have to trust the evidence of your eyes.
I do
Right?
not have to trust the evidence of my eyes. That's retarded. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so you don't trust the evidence of your eyes.
That's not a factor. I just use my fucking eyeballs. They're on, right? They just do their thing. I
Yeah,
don't
but if you're
have a
but say,
metric
if
of
you're looking
trust.
at if you're looking at a tree, somebody says, "Oh, that's actually a tree," you would just say like, "Hey, that's retarded."
No, I would just be observing a tree.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
like
The
somebody
question
says,
of whether or not I'm
if
observing a
somebody
tree,
if you're
it's
looking
not
at
there.
if you're looking at a bird, right, and somebody says it's not a bird, I don't care what your eyes say, it's not a bird.
Bro,
You'd be like,
listen, man. Quit talking and
you
listen.
say I'm observing a bird.
Quit
right?
talking and listen. Try listening for a second.
Yeah.
My
so-
eyes don't figure things out. They don't tell me something. They don't inform me of knowledge. They don't do that. They just observe. That's all they do.
Okay.
My
cool.
eyes
And so-
don't
and
know.
so-
Shut up.
Yeah.
My eyes don't know whether they're
Okay.
looking at a cup or a microphone or a computer. My eyes don't know that shit. My senses do not inform me of epistemic information. What
okay,
fucking
look,
planet are you from?
All right, fine. If you can't, if you need it drawn out for you, I'll use crayons. That's fine. Like if you, let me rephrase it. Does your
Yo, knuckle dragger, what I said to you was, my eyes do not inform me of that kind. Okay. Like, literally, fucking, what kind of dipshit? What kind of fucking moron out there thinks that your eyes do that? That it's your eyes that are telling you that you're looking at a car? Like, what kind of, does anybody actually, is that really a thing? Like, people actually believe that it's their eyes that figure things out? It can't be my ears that are figuring things out. Like, my ears don't know shit. They don't know what they're listening to. They have no fucking clue. They're just sensory organs. Fucking dumb, dude. I cannot believe, like, there's people out there with that philosophy. I don't even know if that's a philosophy. That just seems like a fundamental misunderstanding of what sensory organs do. Like, I don't need to trust my sensory organs. They're just on, right? Like, maybe he meant memory or something like that. Where I thought I heard something or I thought I saw something. Right? But I don't know what it's like to, like, look at stuff and then go, I accept it at 73%. Like, I don't know what that means. What would it mean to, like, look at a thing and then having anything other than confidence that it's there? Like, do people really do, like when you guys look at the world, is there, like, meta tags on all objects around you and their equivalent acceptance factor of how much you trusted your sense on that one? Or is it just like, maybe it's just one grand meta tag where you're at like 73% certainty or something like that shit's happening. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I was overcomplicating it because I was thinking like each individual thing has its own meta tag for, you accepting that it's real and that you've properly trusted your, like, this is so stupid. Like, musing over this, you got to be able to see how stupid that is. Like, that clearly thinking is not part of observation, right? Your eyes are not doing any kind of thinking. When you lick something, your tongue has zero clue that it's even licking something. Like, this is so weird. Like, why does this need to be said? Like, why are there people on this fucking planet that would say some stupid shit like that? Like I swear, like most of the time, it's like if these people just think about it from like a different lens for like 5 minutes, they'll be like, oh shit, it's fucking stupid. And then like if they did that, the cool thing is you do that. Like if you say something inside your brain, no one can hear you. Like watch. I just said some really stupid shit inside my brain. No one heard me. It's perfectly fine. And no one's going to care until I like say it out loud. That's when, but you know, if I do that part, like I say it in my brain and then I'm like, oh shit, that sounds stupid. And then I just don't say it out loud. Like people aren't going to criticize that. They might criticize because I'm taking too long to answer. Like I'm sitting there kind of looking around. That might be a little weird, you know? But it's weirder when you say shit like how much do you trust your senses? Like, well, what does that even mean? I don't do that. That's not a thing. It doesn't seem like a thing to me. Like where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna assume that my eyeballs are you're doing your job. Like I don't even. What is that? What does it mean to just trust your senses? Like it's not like I saw something one time, like this cup. I didn't see this cup like one time. It's like real time updating. I'm observing this thing like trillions of times, like in a minute or what. It's just like an ongoing thing, right? But they're putting it's like, oh, so you trust it? Like I saw it one time, and I'm just maintaining this persistent belief that the cup is there. But like my ongoing observations just all go back to that first observation. No, that's just so stupid. It's like literally an ongoing process here. Like that person had to be a moron. That's what it had to be. It had to be the case that that dude was a moron. There's no way.
I just think he was purposely being obstinate.
Yeah, there's no way that that's real, that people think that way. It's like you're observing some shit and done. Like there's like not another option. What are you not observing? You could do that? You could not observe? Like, I don't get it. It's like you're observing. And then when I try to think of like the binary, like or not, like what is or you're dead, I guess. It's like your eyeballs are either on or they're off. I don't know what this trust thing is. Do you guys ever have issues with that? Like your shit just gets all fucked up and it's like, oh, that wasn't the remote control, it was someone's dick. Like, I don't know what happens in this process. You just don't trust. Like, what does heat work like that?
I have personally never picked up a remote control and it accidentally be a dick.
And you would think unless it's a dick-shaped remote, that would be super hard.
I mean, yeah, I've never seen a remote that's like perfectly syringical like that.
Yeah.
Just have it. Like I'm holding a goddamn remote right now, and it's not. It is. No chance. No chance you're going to get that mistaken.
Dude, I'm actively looking at things right now. Yeah, I'm not detecting anything weird. Anything. Look, there's a box over there. I've never read this box. I bought these things a lot. But I've never actually sat and read them. There's information on that box. I have no idea what that is. Well, I guess I can infer some of the information on that box. But I've never read it. Now, when I go to read it, I don't. What is involved in figuring out how much I trust my senses here? Like, what does that mean? Like, when I get that box and I start reading it, it's just going to be like me applying my eyes to the surface of it, and just like hitting them. I expect that when I do this process, whatever is written on that box, that information, it's clearly there. I'm just going to be able to read it. Then I'll be able to put it down. And then I'll know that, like, if I do that task, that same one again, the same shit's going to be there. I don't have to remember it. I don't have to trust. What am I trusting? I don't get it. Like, what is the trust? That I was right? Well, I don't need to trust it because, like, look, I'm going to do it real quick. Let's see here. I don't know what this says. Packing unit list 2. Lost Mary neuropod. Parameters. Size, it's super small font, 93, size 93. Now I'm gonna immediately activate Stoner and forget everything I just read. Boom, gone. I have no idea what I just read, but I'm gonna do it again. Packing list 2 Lost Mary neuropod, parameters, size 93. It goes on. There's more information, but I didn't. What am I trusting? What am I to trust or not trust here? That's what I mean, dude. It's like, this is just trope. This is some like philosophical trope that some moron came up with a long time ago. And then nerds just flock to that shit. That you got to trust your senses. It's like, no, I don't. I can just try it again. Do it again. Right? If it don't work, I can figure out what's wrong with it. I don't. And just what's happening is what I'm seeing is what I'm seeing. I just look at it. I don't need to remember how shit is. It's always that way. Like that lighter is right there. And it says happy holidays. Bam. But with a Z, you know, because it's a weed. It's a stoner lighter. I didn't even know that. I guess I bought it at a head shop or something, you know? That information's there. What am I trusting? I don't get what am I trusting? It's like they say it. Oh, you're trusting your senses. When, no, I'm not trusting them. It's just like, that's all. It's happening. Shit's happening. Yep, shit's happening. What am I trusting? Where's the trust? But you'll never get a real that it's reliable. It's like, what do you mean? It's like the most fucking reliable thing I can think of are my senses. And in fact, I would use my senses to calibrate reliability, right? Like when I pull the lever and shit happens, and it happens that way, and I'm checking reliability by lever pull, well, guess what? I'm using my senses to do that. So like all the shit that the nerds are tweaking, they're using their senses to tweak them to that parameter. So like every metric of reliability that we come up with, whether it's a dog shit metric or like the most awesome metric, whatever those are, you would use your senses to calibrate and, you know, get there. So I just don't get what am I trusting? I don't get it. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe like everybody's all like, yeah, you don't know? Dumbass. And maybe I'm just dumb. And that's what's wrong with me. It's that I'm dumb and I don't get what I'm supposed to be trusting here. And like, I'm just that low IQ and I just don't see that dimension. But I don't know. Maybe ask your guys that question, you know, yourself. What are you trusting? The outcome? The prediction? Like, what? Trust a prediction. But what prediction am I making when I look at some shit? I'm not making any predictions. I didn't know. I made a prediction that there was going to be some shit written on that box, but I didn't predict what was written on the box. So there's no prediction. I'm not trusting the prediction. I'm trusting the reliability. Well, no, I'm certifying the reliability. I read it one time, then I read it a second time. Hopefully, you know, if you go back and I read it identical. So you're not trusting that. Like, where's the trust? What am my memory of it? Trust in but that's not a sensation. So calibrating the reliability of senses based on what I remember, well, that seems like a category error. I think it seems to me that it's a platitude for morons to escape conversation and accountability for, you know, having to justify the bullshit they're spewing. To just tell me that I'm just assuming that I can find my senses reliable. It's like, what the fuck are you even talking about? It's like the other side of it. It's like if I say, yeah, I trust my senses that they're pretty much dead on balls accurate. You know, they'll hit you. Oh, you think you're perfect? Think you're perfect, Mr. Perfect guy? And it's like, no, I'm not really saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying, like, when I'm looking at the cup, yeah, it's the cup. Wait. Yeah, no, it's the cup. I don't know if I'm perfectly observing it, but it seems like it's just like this right here.
Look, this is what they. I guess I know I've run into this before, but they're not. I trust my senses so far as their continued reliability to keep me alive. I mean that's as soon as my eyesight starts going or whatever, you can no longer trust your senses because you realize that it's a dangerous or whatever. I don't understand where they're coming from with do you trust your senses? Or of course everybody trusts their senses, but it's not like a it's not a cognitive thing that they're it's not a thing that you think about or realize, right? Like it just is.
Yeah, you don't do it. Like a blind person.
Yeah, you don't do it. Yes, right? Exactly.
Like a blind person can, I guess, trust that they can't see shit. Like every time you hold something up to a blind person, they're going to be like, yeah, I don't see it. And then you could hold up another thing and be like, yeah, I don't see that one either. Right? And you could be informing them like every time. You'd be like, well, all right, I'm holding up a new thing. Do you see this one? And they'll be like, no, I don't see it. And they don't even have the sense. So, but it's reliable. It's like they literally every single time don't see it. So I don't really understand what they're really getting at. The reliability in what? That I got it right? That's not sensation. Getting it right is not sensation. Remembering the description is not sensation. But yeah, I observed it. I'm observing, and what did I get wrong? Right? But they're not really like I don't see how it actually applies here. The right, because no, I'm not saying my ability to detect reality is perfect, whatever that means. In any other way that isn't just self-referential, right? Because I am perfectly colorblind. If you want to make a perfect version of me, that motherfucker better be colorblind and have a huge penis, right? But it better be fucking colorblind, because if you don't make your version of me colorblind, then it ain't perfect. You fucked up. Like, because I am colorblind. So when I look at shit and it's all fucked up in colors, it's only fucked up with reference to what you're seeing. With reference to what I'm seeing, it's that way. And it doesn't need to be any other way, because that's the way I'm seeing it. So I'm perfectly observing things exactly like I should see them with my colorblind shit and my fucked up ears from stuff, right? Like, in all that, all the problems with my sensation are there because that's how it is. And because of how it is, I perceive this way. It's like a wobble in your car. You should have a wobble in your car. And it's like, well, what do you mean? What? Because your shit's bent. Well, yeah, it shouldn't be bent, but it is bent, and so you have a wobble. It would be really fucking weird if your shit was bent and you didn't have a wobble. Or you had a wobble and it wasn't bent. That would be fucking weird and imperfect. That would need to change, right? If you're driving along on no wheels, literally no fucking wheels, you like look down and you're like, oh shit, I have literally no fucking wheels. You should crash. That's what should happen. You should expect that. You should be able to predict it any second now. You should be falling, because that's how you correct that problem, right? Then no tires, no driving. Shit's gonna scrape on the ground. Just gravity. It sucks, but that's it. That's the answer. Like, if you have no cars, then you will perfectly not go anywhere. That's perfect right there. Reality is that way, and physics is saying this right here. That's perfect. I mean, I understand, when we observe it, we're like, well, we want the car to work. Okay. Well, then you got to change the system. You got to make corrections, modifications to the system, because that car is perfectly fucked right there. That's exactly what a car should do when it doesn't have wheels. Sit there and not move. So it's like, I don't really understand what these guys are saying, the reliability of our senses. And it's like, I would use my senses to calibrate and check for reliability. Right? Like, the car's not working. I use my senses to be like, the shit's not working. But I used my senses to come to the conclusion my car's not reliable because, 1 out of every 30 times it don't start, right? And so it's unreliable. But I used my senses to do that. So I wish we got a big brain nerd that believed this shit and they could explain it. Because I feel like I'm doing more work trying to figure out this shit than they do when they try to assert the shit. Reliability of senses. It's like it's like unreliable senses would be like you show a blind person a thing and you're like, do you see it? And they'd be like, no. And then you show them another thing and you'd be like, do you see it? And they're like, no. And then you show them another thing and you're like, you see it? And they're like, yeah. That's unreliable. A blind person should never say yeah. That's reliable. They lack eyes, or whatever, right? They don't work right. So, what? I swear, dude, it's so close. It's like orbiting the issue that the proposition is extremely fucking stupid, and nobody knows what they're talking about when they assert that bullshit. I swear, it's so close to that. Like, I can taste it. All right, Mr. Man, let's go prove it. Yeah, that's what I thought, nerd. Get wrecked. All right, Ultra, let's go. You're up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Get wrecked, nerd. Bam, 2 in a row. Neither one of them can prove that shit. And then, like, if you're going to say that when I use my eyeballs, I have to have a trust factor association score, what's yours? Right? What's your trust factor association score? Your TFAS.
Yes.
Yeah, what's your TFAS? Right? I don't know what mine is, but what's yours, buddy? Right? And here's the thing. Do you think your eyeballs are working because your philosophy's right? That's the, it's like, what do these morons think's going to happen? I have this philosophy, therefore my senses are unreliable. But if I switch to this philosophy, my senses will all of a sudden be reliable. Or are they saying that, hey, man, all senses are reliable or unreliable? Like, it seems like they're pooping in their own pond on that one.